The 10 copies of Superman, Saitama. We all know our favorite bald guy, right? No, not this one. Saitama, hero and main character of One Punch Man. After losing his office job, he saved a child from a murderous crab monster on his way home, receiving its suit. He began training full-time, 100 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and a 10 kilometers run daily. This shattered his Limiterra cosmic barrier, restricting living beings' power, per Dr. Genus. But Saitama was born with an extremely small limiter, which he broke over and over until he had none, granting infinite, rapidly growing strength. Even against Garou, who grows stronger mid-fight and sometimes matches Saitama, Saitama grows stronger faster infinitely. Feats: destroyed Jupiter with a sneeze, punched through space-time, lifted buildings while doing squats, surfed waves using an aircraft carrier as a board, lifted 2 black holes. He's unbreakable hero who persevered until he achieved his dream, becoming the strongest hero. Yet he remains profoundly alone, with no equal to match his power or ignite his passion. Super Bigot. We know this is a meme, but we're listing Superman copies and this is one. Created by Venezuela's eloquent dictator to give hope to his country, he made this hero. His story: I know this is bullshit, but let's continue. A young Venezuelan witnessed crisis and crime in his country. Seeing these injustices, he began defending citizens using boxing skills. During this, he met a man begging for help. Those words drove him to seek greater purpose. He joined an ancestral indigenous group who trained him and gave him an iron gauntlet to defeat injustice and any threat. The youth, Nicolas, adopted a second identity, Super Bigot. He defeated threats like the inflation monster, annihilated the OAS, a cosmic entity, super-powered being the greatest threat he faced. He nearly gave up, but found inspiration fighting for his people. His main enemies are the Illuminati, who tried to manipulate Venezuela into chaos by cutting national electricity and internet, but Super Bigot easily crushed them, proving they're no match. Powers: matter manipulation, infinite power, as long as he doesn't surrender, to fight regimes harming Venezuela. Wundarr the Aquarium. His story is very similar to Superman's, well, just the beginning. Born on planet Dakan to Hectu and Soja, renegade parents who believed their son would explode, they launched their son into space to save him. But, nearing Earth, his ship was pulled into the atmosphere and exposed to cosmic rays, crashing in a Florida swamp. 2 elderly witnesses saw the crash but ignored it and walked away, leaving him trapped in the ship for 20 years. He emerged as an adult with a child's mind and was freed by Man-Thing, who mistook him for its mother. Later, he was cared for by the Thing, Ben Grimm, and Reed Richards built him a containment suit to regulate his energy. The government then recruited him for Project Pegasus, where he helped contain the cosmic cube's power. When the cube exploded, it put him in a coma. Upon waking, he rejected violence and embraced pacifism. Powers: creates a nullfield force, a shield where nothing can move, not even him. Defeated the Entropic Man, a living black hole. He's a Superman parody specifically mocking the hero's originant, symbolizes peace through non-combat. Wonder Man: Simon Williams was heir to the family company Williams Innovation. After his father's death, he took charge but went bankrupt due to bad advice from his brother. This bred resentment and hatred toward Tony Stark, blaming Stark's tech for ruining his business. Desperate, he agreed to an experiment, granting him powers to help Baron Zemo defeat the Avengers. Simon accepted, gaining the power he needed, but Zemo warned he'd only live 24 hours without the antidote. Simon fought the Avengers but chose not to kill them, so he died. But let's continue. He couldn't die because he'd become ionic energy. That energy was later used by Ultron to create Vision, using Simon's brain patterns. Years later, Simon Williams resurrected, feeling it was like an ionic coma. Upon returning, he joined the Avengers but developed a connection with the Scarlet Witch, who'd previously loved Vision. Since both shared Simon's mental patterns, Simon also had a relationship with her. Super Scott. In Superman de Nuestro Tiempo, haven't actually watched this series or knew who he was, but while researching, I saw his name first, then a TikTok where he appeared. But I'll say it, this hero radiates an aura. With his weird haircut style, he's got an aura. Super Scott is a comic in Hero Inside, created by a young Scott who loved comics, creating and drawing them. But when he disappeared, his comics were forgotten, becoming just more of the pile. They were later found by geeks or nerds who love comics, those with the imagination needed to summon the characters. That's when an old woman summons Super Scott, believing he's her son. He's a carbon copy of the original Scott, but an anti-hero who thinks justice and good must be achieved through what's necessary, sacrificing anything to enforce rules, twisting it into a narcissistic idea. As an all-powerful hero, his main mission is to break free from the comic and become real to impose his justice in the real world. Since he was the last one to see the original Scott, he manipulates the old woman to unleash his vengeance until defeated by Mr. Justicia. He has powers like Superman's, capable of defeating all heroes in Hero Inside alone. He's a hero imagined and created by a child who gave him every power needed, making him practically invincible. But in reality, a hero isn't defined by having all power without weakness. A hero is one who refuses to fall, who gives everything to save and help others, no matter what. That's why Mr. Justicia, though weaker, endured all his blows and attacks without falling, until landing his final strike. Hancock, a god, an angel, a hero, an alien, it's not known for sure. He woke up in a Miami hospital in 2008, remembering nothing, just finding a movie ticket from 1931. Searching for clues about his identity, he learned he belongs to a divine race created to guide humanity. Being thousands of years old, his kind is forbidden from gathering with their own race. That's why, when he meets his wife, the only equal of his kind on Earth, he starts losing his powers and becomes mortal, finally free to live his life vulnerable for the first time. He has traditional Superman-like powers, capable of lifting a 150-ton whale while drunk. A broken hero exiled into solitude, he accepted it. Forgetting everything and not knowing who he was became an escape from memories and pain endured over millennia. He accepts never being with the love of his life, the person he cherishes most, knowing she'll be far away but always on his mind, ready to save her. Though he could lose his power for her, he'd willingly do it. Yet he knows, sometimes you must let go of what you love. He accepts being condemned to loneliness. Chinese Superman, Kenan Kong. His name is Kenan Kong. Initially, he was a child who bullied the son of the owner of the airline where his mother died. However, a villain named Blue Condor appeared, attacking wealthy families. Upon seeing him, Kenan threw a bottle at him, freeing the hostage. At that moment, he was recorded and interviewed, appearing on television and going viral. Upon returning home, he told his father that he should go write about the Ministry of Self-Security. However, his father told him he shouldn't be selfish and should talk to the television stations. Upon hearing this, Kenan became angry and decided to visit his mother's grave, which he hadn't done for 2 years. While at the grave, he was visited by the supervisor of the Ministry of Self-Security, who offered to give him the power and abilities of Superman because they believed he was a person who helped others, as seen on television. He accepted, but while participating in the experiment, he feels doubt and wants to abort, but they don't listen to him and continue with the experiment. At that moment, the machine containing Kenan is destroyed. Seeing that the experiment was a success, he was trained and supervised by the ministry. Participating in several missions, one of his first was to save the daughter of a telecommunications millionaire. In doing so, he proclaimed himself the Superman of China. Becoming a national hero of China, he instantly became one of the most powerful and renowned heroes in the world. Even Superman has asked him to protect Metropolis when he leaves the city, destroying Lex Luthor's plans. Keenan's character evolved, born out of pain, sadness, and selfishness, being a self-centered and immature person. But when he realized that with the power he possesses, he can help people, his character was molded, becoming a hero who helps people, a responsible hero. He possesses the same powers as Superman, but has greater resistance and invulnerability to magic, and can concentrate his ki, better controlling his powers. Capitanazo. The hero we'd all want to meet? Hell no, this dude is trash. He's a hero, if you can call him that, as a parody of do-gooder heroes, but he's the opposite, childish and guided by infantile thinking. Born on Boulogne, a Krypton parody,
teníamos que recuperar todo el tiempo perdido.
His parents tried to abort him to prevent him becoming a super-healthy, dumbest superhero in the universe. When that failed, they launched him into space, but his ship malfunctioned, sending him to Earth, the dumbest planet in the universe. There, Capitanazo was raised by farmer parents, grew up using his powers, and became a hero, but a stupid, egocentric, morally bankrupt, one whose idiocy makes him a threat. He embodies destructive narcissism, egomania, misogyny, and extreme sexual deviances. Upon meeting his biological parents, he learned they never loved him, they preferred a son over him, so he flew to their planet, spun it, and effortlessly destroyed it. He can fly across the universe in seconds. This parody hero proves absolute power, corrupted or clumsily wielded, destroys everything it touches. Apollo. This is a straight-up Superman, existing within the DC universe but with a different history. He's a hero who joined Stormwatch, an ultra-secret organization dedicated to global surveillance mission, eliminating threats, whether dictators or cosmic dangers. But when Stormwatch dissolved, Jenny Sparks recruited him for the Authority, a team tasked with defeating Earth's threats. Post-Flashpoint, he's a young man with solar powers who catches Stormwatch's eye for recruitment. He's a gay hero whose partner is Midnighter. Their dynamic is fascinating. Apollo acts as a pacifist, intervening destructively only when necessary, while Midnighter thrives on chaos and violence. Despite these differences, they push each other to become better versions of themselves. This relationship is an emotional cornerstone of their story, and comics laureone of the first stable LGBTQ+ couples in mainstream comics. His powers, like Superman's, rely on solar energy. Apollo absorbs and projects light, energy from any part of his body. His durability lets him walk on the sun's surface, yet his power still falls short of Superman's brines. He's a being who fights oppression, emerging from shadows to become the light of a new dawn, a living metaphor. Supreme. A hero who knows his history, knows his past to where he was, is, and will be, but differently. Initially, Supreme was just another hero with Superman-like powers, violent and egocentric, wanting to defeat everyone an anti-hero stuck in that rut. But when Alan Moore took over, he reinvented the comic as a Superman tribute, scrapping all prior lore. Here, Supreme gains powers in childhood when a Supremium meteor, a reality-altering element, crashes near him. He fights villains, leads the Allies, a Justice League analog, battles Optilux, Brainiac counterpart, and even wars with Goal, a living galaxy that kidnapped his sister Suprema for 30 years. Upon returning, he discovers something's off his history has been rewritten multiple times. He travels to Supremacy, a dimension housing all his discarded comic versions, pre-Moore era, showing how continuities shift. He learns he's always existed but will one day be modified again to create a new him, while his old self remains trapped there. His powers include energy, dimensional manipulation, rubbing his hands creates interdimensional portals or electric blasts. He can seal rifts and resist temporal alterations. He breaks the fourth wall, questioning his own existence. Supreme understands he's just a story yesterday's tale rewritten tomorrow, crafted on a different day. But he wonders, if you rewrite your past, do you lose your soul, your essence? Do you cease being you by choosing change? Or do new layers refine your core, adapting you into who you are or must become? Next,